Hi, everybody. My
Hi.
name is... What?
You're saying hi back.
Oh, okay. That's pleasant of you. Drunk Dave. And that's Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Oh, my Lanta.
And my name is Mr. Dupa. Tonight's brew is Uinta Part 2. It's the summer ale. Once again, it's from the Salt Lake City. It's from Salt Lake City.
We're pretty fond of this brewery.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one we had was really good. I'm hoping that this matches the quality. It's going to be good. We're going to have a lot of fun.
What is it?
It's the One Baron podcast.
No. The type of beer, Marco.
I called it. I said it was the summer ale already.
It's too fast of a title. No one listen to you, man.
You're not paying attention.
You're right.
Welcome to One Beer In.
Did we start recording yet?
God damn.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m.
I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's refreshing.
I think compared to last week's summer ale, this is superior.
So you
I
guys,
would say this is very much more crafty, artesian.
whoa, fancy.
Busting out the big words.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just quality wise. It just tastes better.
It's good. I like it.
All right. So you guys
Not
like it?
not to say that the Brooklyn summer ale was bad. It was good. We gave it a high rating.
Yeah.
So we gotta give this a higher rating.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn it.
so,
5.5.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Damn it.
I'm gonna go 5.5.
I'm really skewing my rating.
Yours is all over. It's all.
Yeah, mine
it's
is
all.
completely all over
Yeah.
the place.
Can we get a Metacritic on this one?
Yeah.
Let's get a consensus.
Get one more taste. I mean, it's refreshing. I'm not a super fan of it.
I'm going back to 5. Just straight 5.
I'll go 5. I'm going 5, even though I said it was better. I have to start fixing my scale.
Yeah.
Because...
We need like a chart.
Oh, we should do what Top Gear does with their speeds.
Yeah.
And they have like a little graph. Or not a graph, a whole like...
A wall.
Yeah, a wall. Actually, it's not even a wall. It's just like a magnetic board and they slap magnets on it.
Yeah.
Based on fastest times. So with that, we could put like all the beers that we try and then just be like, well, is this better than... this one or worse than
I like
this
that.
one, and
I
then
like
we
that.
can have like a top beer
Right.
at the top.
Highest scores, and then we can take pictures of it and update it on the website and stuff like that. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Just invented, yeah.
Adam's back.
I am. Here I am.
Wait. Before we...
Yeah, I need to review it, actually. I give it a 4.5.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the One Baron podcast, episode 15. As you can already tell, Adam Obesius Rodriguez. I love saying the full thing.
It's good.
He's back.
Hello.
How are you?
Obese Luis Rodriguez.
Obese Luis. I like
It's good.
It's
Yeah.
good.
I'll start using that.
Anyway, I'm sad that you're back.
That's all right.
I actually had to make last week's episode sound less like we were happy you were gone. Because there was a lot of like,
Yeah.
fuck off, Adam. Yeah.
No, that was only from you.
That was from you. I had to edit you saying "fuck you, Adam" like twice.
I believe it both ways.
No, I
so.
said sorry, Adam, because you're like, I got a new bit I didn't greenlight with anybody.
Yeah, there was that part. Yeah, there was
I heard
that.
that, yeah.
I
heard
left that in because it was.
It was funny.
Yeah.
You guys are real funny. Real funny guys.
Well, you enjoy Netflix a lot, so you'll be able to contribute to that.
yeah.
That new bit. So
Absolutely. I agree with that bit. We may work a more sexy name out of it, but
probably at some point. Next time you hear it, guys, it'll probably have a
yeah.
better time.
We'll let you know. But yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, tell us about your trip.
Okay. So, as the audience can't see, but we took a picture of it, brought you guys back some koozies from the Governor's Ball.
Wow, they're so fancy.
I know.
Wow, thank you, Adam, so
Yeah.
much.
Gotta think about my babies. Anyway, yeah, I was up in New York City for the Governor's Ball, and which, if you guys don't know, is basically a big sort of, I guess, indie music festival.
With politicians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
we
Not
vote.
so indie anymore.
We vote on things, and it's all right.
I mean, the acts that were there were pretty
Yeah, I guess so.
big time.
I guess so. But I can't really call it anything else because if it's not an indie festival, then what is it?
I mean, it's a certain niche of music that
Yeah.
those artists show up, and those artists aren't, underground to those people. That's what, it's a certain niche. Like, there
Yeah.
aren't people that listen to, like, the radio and go to the governor's ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a really good point because I went there with my girlfriend and she didn't know most of the artists because she only listens to the radio, basically.
She's so stupid. She's so stupid. I hope you're listening to this.
Anyway. Shut up. She's not stupid.
Oh, fantastic.
But yeah, no, we have different...
Way to defend your lady.
I know.
Nice.
Her
well
honor.
done.
Yeah.
Well said. She's
Thank
not
you.
stupid.
She's not stupid. She's very smart. I like her.
I'm sure she is.
Um,
She's a very handsome lady.
Just like you, Marco. With them big old titties.
Nice. It's good.
Anyway, so my point
Let's get
was-
serious.
Yeah, let's get back to the point here. I was saying, they may be familiar to us, like me, you, and Marco, but they're not familiar to the person that just listens to the radio, basically.
Jamie.
Yeah. So she was kind of out of the loop with a lot of the musicians, but I tried to explain to her, who Interpol was and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
god. Even I'm upset at that.
But anyway, so my point being, it was an awesome festival. Like, I can't use enough hyperbole to describe how awesome this thing was.
Yeah, I was telling Marco when you left for a minute that I was a little bit jealous because, like I told you, I had enough points
Yeah.
with JetBlue to fly up to New York for free.
Yeah.
But the tickets were sold out.
Yep.
I would have loved that.
I have to say, during the entire festival, like, as much fun as I had, I was kind of in the back of my mind thinking how awesome it would have been to have you guys there.
Oh,
I want you guys to tear up a little bit here because...
we're just gonna drink more.
Okay.
We'll
You're here.
drink to that.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, like, seeing the Strokes and
Yep.
Interpol
And Outcast.
and Outkast
And Disclosure.
and
And Jack White.
and Jack White. I mean, like, it was basically what I have on my iTunes
It's a set list.
playing
man.
live, and they did not disappoint.
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike,
Was
LP,
was it Run the Jewels or was it
Run the
just-
Jewels,
Oh,
and then Killer Mike came out with Outkast too.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
that sounds good.
I mean,
unfortunately, if they do have it next year, I don't want to go
why not?
because everybody that didn't go this year, that saw pictures. All right, let me put it like this: when you posted pictures, I thought, all right, everybody who didn't go is going to see the pictures that you posted, and that's going to make them want to go.
Okay.
So now let's say even if you add one more person, and everybody that took pictures adds one more person, it's going to be twice as many people that didn't go last year that are only going next year because of
The hype from this year.
Yeah, only because of the hype, which is
Yeah.
the same thing that happened with EDC.
Uh-huh.
The first year it was in Orlando, and then the next year it was just flooded.
Just gets
with,
bigger and
with
bigger
a
and
bunch
bigger.
of just not posers, just that crowd,
Right.
the trap crowd. Mm-hmm. It was horrible.
Well, I mean, the bigger something gets, the more outliers of that fan base come,
Right.
which kind of bothers the more hardcore fans, and
Right,
you
of
know,
course, because you don't want those people that are just there because it's popular, which is exactly the opposite of what like that entire clique, that niche of music wants.
right?
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty exclusionary, that sort of scene, I guess, altogether.
I mean, now it's starting to burn me up when people are like, yeah, and they call house music EDM. A lot of people call house music EDM, and they consider trap music EDM.
Yep.
And now, like, everybody's like, yeah, plur vibes. And it's just like, you weren't saying that a few years ago when, you know, I was going to those festivals
Yeah.
and you were listening to Chingy and shit.
Right. We all have a little touch of hipster in us, I feel. So, I mean, on one side, it's good that the type of music that we like is flourishing now, because that means that there's more room for, more artists to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does kind of flood the market with these sort of not so great artists to,
I
just get a
don't-
quick buck.
I don't
basically,
have
off
a
the music.
problem with people flocking to these festivals as long as people are appreciating the music in the right way. Like
See,
the
that's
only
that's
thing
the
that
thing. Like, I'm going to use the EDC example again because the second year it was way more packed than it was the first year, and that's only because of the popularity it generated the first year.
Right.
So it's not like these people are going, oh wow, I've never heard of EDM before, and I just happen to like it, and I'm a fan of it. No, it's just, oh, everybody went last year, so I'm gonna go this year
Right.
because everybody went.
Right.
So they're listening to artists that they've never heard of or know any song of theirs, but they're there.
Yeah.
Fitting in with the scene posing.
Yeah, see that, and that's a problem. But like the term hipster, for instance, has become such a an all-encompassing kind of derogatory term.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that it really defines at this point is someone who doesn't appreciate something the right way. You know, if you're appreciating it, if you're not appreciating it, if you're listening to it ironically, if there's like ulterior motives to enjoying something
Right.
other than the fact that it's just enjoyable to you, I think that is like that's the closest thing you can get to that word now, because
Right.
it's used now for everything. People, the way people wear clothes, the way people eat food, the beer that we're drinking.
Yeah.
Like it's too much now. They use it so much now that the way that I view it now is just not enjoying something the right way.
But now, like, there are specific terms for those kinds of hipsters now. Like, people who only drink craft beer are just called beer snobs now.
Right.
Right, yeah,
Like-
that's true.
like
They're
friends-
getting like subcategories.
Our friend Francine, she's a food elitist because she looks down on like fried food, fast food, anything that's not like, organic or something that's just basic, because there's no like
Nutrients. or
not
something.
nutrients, just thought to it. There's no
Okay.
It's just basic. Like, you take basic flavors that you can just think of off the top of your head that you don't even have to put thought
I don't think
into.
she'd be offended by being called an elitist.
She called herself an elitist.
Oh, well, in that case,
Right.
shout out to Francine, the
She
elitist.
knows she's an elitist.
Well, I mean, that's the sort of ultimate hipster form, isn't it? Like, when you can call yourself a hipster, like,
Yeah.
is that not the highest level of
Yeah,
hipsterdom?
but I mean, like, hipsters just like Marco's saying, anything you do that you kind of specialize in,
Right.
kind of, you're a hipster.
Right.
I think anything that nowadays you have a passion for is looked at as you're a hipster of whatever you like.
Right.
You know, like, it's so stupid.
They've taken like terms like nerd and turned them into, you're a hipster.
Right.
Just because you like appreciate something more than anyone else, obviously you can't like it legitimately.
Right.
You have to have
An
another
ulterior
reason
motive.
for right. Yeah.
Like, you're doing it just to be part of a scene or
Right.
something.
You can't just like something. So like, to go back to like the festivals and stuff, if people go there and like the people around you are like the people who showed up for the Run the Jewels set. Like, if they knew who Killer Mike was and they had listened to LP and they just happened to be like some blonde white chick, like, if that person is appreciating the music in the right way, then I don't have a problem with it. It's when they show up and they're like, oh, this is cool. Who's this again?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck off. Ugh. That's when there's a problem.
Yeah. And I mean, going back to Governor's Ball in particular, like, I had a great time. I can't say that enough, but I have to say the crowd at EDC was much more agreeable than the crowd at Governor's Ball. Like, there were much less just flat out douchebags at EDC than there were at Governor's Ball.
Really?
Like, the people there, you see, but I have a little bit of trouble.
You have to think of where you're at, too.
Well, it's not that. It's not that. The way that I think about it is the amount of people there make it so that the sort of percentage of douchebag is going to be higher regardless because there are more people there.
Yeah.
Just like, think about us living in, suburban Orlando compared to living in New York City. There's going to be more crime in New York City just because there's more people in that small space, right?
That's what I just said.
It's the same idea, like, because there were more people there, that means there were more douchebags and posers and, like, just people that weren't there to have fun, basically. Or just there to get wasted and, don't even enjoy the music. And, this group of chicks, I have to say, during the entire Disclosure set, were taking selfies.
Ugh.
And I burned up inside. Like, I almost let it ruin my entire show
I mean,
experience.
how many people did we see taking pictures at the Kendrick show?
Yeah,
Like,
a lot.
as he's rapping, there's people behind us. Those girls.
Yep.
Oh, I think one of them had an iPad. Like,
Brought an iPad to a concert?
like just like I think it was like a mini iPad. Threw it in her purse, and then was like flashing photo. Like,
Right.
and the flash on an iPad is like the flash on a DSLR. It's like it takes up half the fucking stadium. It's stupid huge.
Yeah.
And it was like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Are you here for the appearance, or are you here to watch a show, to enjoy music?
And I don't want to be a hypocrite because I take pictures too. I take videos too, but there's a certain point where I put the phone away and I decide to enjoy the rest of the show.
Right,
you know,
right.
I take maybe 5 pictures of the artist. If I find a song that I really, really want to record,
Right.
I record the first maybe 10 seconds of it, and I put my phone away.
Right.
And that's it. And I enjoy the rest of the show because I know, first of all, I'm not going to enjoy it looking through a little computer screen.
Yeah.
Second, I know there are people behind me, and I'm sort of tall. If I have my hands up over my head the entire show, that's going to ruin the show for everybody behind me, too.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be considerate, too, within that.
Yeah. Louis C.K. has a bit where he's talking about how people will take videos, they'll post it on, social networks, and then they'll never watch it. They put it on there, and he's like, here, you watch it. You enjoy this. And then he was like, the next time you do that, how about take one frame of like your daughter's recital or something like that, and then like 15 minutes of your own ass, and then like have post that, and then watch how many, because people don't watch it is what he's
Right.
saying, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna comment like, oh my god, it's so cute, it's so adorable, and they're talking about his ass crack, but it's a good point, and that's why I don't ever take out my phone and take pictures. For one, the quality of the pictures is always horrendous. It doesn't matter how good my phone has ever been. I have a Nexus 5 right now, and it's still
Doesn't really
trying
work
to
out.
take concert photos just sucks.
Right.
The
And
videos I'm never gonna watch again.
depending on the video on the phone, like you're either gonna get like "Whoa,"
Right.
or like crystal clear sound.
Right.
And most of the time it's like "Whoa."
Yeah.
So it's kind of pointless. I mean, on the one hand, you did get a pretty good picture of the Strokes.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
kind
that's
of looked
cool.
like a concert photo, so that was good, like a legit photo. So that one was good. But for the most part, like my pictures never turn out that well, so I don't do that. And then on the other hand, I just like I'm a shorter guy, so like I'm up here with my hands like as far as
shorter
like
guy.
I mean, he's like, what are you, 5'10", 6 foot?
I'm 6 foot.
You're
Yeah.
about 6 feet. Yeah,
6
he's
and
about
change.
6 foot. I'm about 5'9".
No, you're not. I'm
Yeah.
5'9". You're taller than me.
Well, then I'm about 5'10". I only got like an inch, maybe an inch and a half on you at the most.
Wait, what are we talking about again?
In the pants.
Just yeah, that too.
Just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, and I usually don't like.
Not much to brag about.
Oh, no.
I usually don't show up to shows that early, so I'm usually like 6 or 7 rows back.
Yeah.
So there's always like guys who are like 6'5" in front of me. It's just, I mean, I find that crack in heads to see the show.
I had to find an art in that during that entire weekend because
I
for
bet,
some
I
reason
bet.
there was literally every single time about a 7 foot tall guy
Yeah.
in the crowd that just happened to stand right in front of me.
Yeah.
Every
Like-
single time.
Like guys, people that tall should be a little bit more considerate.
Yeah, they should be in the back.
They shouldn't be in the back. They should be like off to the
No,
side.
in the back. Put them in the back.
No, off to the side.
I don't
in the
care how
front.
much money you spent on tickets. Go in the back.
Squat.
Nah, you don't have. Yeah, you're right. They should designate tall person areas or have it to be like a coliseum. So like it doesn't matter at what where you're at.
Yeah.
It goes down so everyone gets a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, regardless, I had a great time there. That's the main point I'm trying to make.
What was your favorite set?
Yeah.
Oof. That's
Okay,
tough.
no. Okay,
Top 3.
I'll give you time to think about that while you tell us what was the worst set.
Worst set. Wow.
Set that you went, I kind of want to... I'm kind of hungry. I could get
Yeah,
something.
or you could just
Yeah.
walk away from this
You
show.
know,
like,
set that
"Eh."
you knew like you were hungry, you wanted to get
It
something.
doesn't
Okay.
have to be a bad show.
Okay,
Just-
okay. Yeah, because honestly, that's why it's so hard for me to think of something because none of those shows that I caught, I would say were bad. None of them I would walk away saying, that wasn't as great as I was expecting.
Right.
But the one show that we actually did end up walking away from was Vampire Weekend. So that wasn't because they were bad, mind you. They were really good. It was like really good danceable music, especially for that kind of festival crowd. The only thing was that, first of all, it was really late. They were like one of the last sets that night and the
And
very
what time
last
was
night.
that?
How long did it... Yeah, how long was the concert?
I mean, they
last?
closed up shop at like 11.
Wow.
But
What time did you get there?
the first day we got there at about around like 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's decent. That's a long.
Yeah. It was a long day.
That's a long day.
Yeah, that's
It was a long day. For days 2 and 3, we didn't stay as long. I mean, we didn't stay as long because we got there later, I should say. So we kind of planned it out a little bit better because the first day, like, we were wrecked after that. Because you're standing out in the sun. It was like
You ain't
Really?
got the heart. You ain't got the
I
heart.
know. I know. My thunder thighs, they were just killing me the entire time.
Too much.
All that weight on your heels. Your
They
ankles
wanted to
must
give-
be dying.
They wanted to give up on me.
Heavy leg syndrome.
Yeah, seriously. Like a dinosaur. Anyway, so the one show I would say that, wasn't quite up to, the greatness that was the rest of the weekend was probably Vampire Weekend. Just because they played a lot of the songs that I knew, like, in the early set. So once I heard most of the hits that I really wanted to hear them play anyway, we got out of there. We left a little bit early. As we were walking back, we heard Ingrosso DJing. He was the main, like,
Right. He was
very
headlining,
last
yeah.
headliner. And we heard him, like, as we were walking to the ferry. We got on the ferry, heard the rest of the songs that he was playing, and then saw fireworks from, like,
Awesome.
the ferry.
Oh, perfect timing.
It was so good.
nice.
So good.
Yeah, that's great, man.
It was beautiful. But yeah, I would say
I was burping. I'm sorry.
probably the one that's most lackluster, if you had to say that, was Vampire Weekend. But just because I wasn't super familiar with, like, the rest of their songs, because I really liked their first album.
That was Disclosure, because I really regret not seeing them when they came to House of Blues.
The thing I appreciate most about Disclosure
It was a live set, right?
It was a live set. The thing I appreciate most about them was that it was a live set. They could have easily just had the two of them up there on, like,
I like Disclosure, for the record.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
You should.
I do.
You should.
Have you heard the Radio 1 Essential Mix?
No.
You need to.
Mostly
'cause it-
hip hop.
Yep. Incorporates a lot of Dilla.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're big
It's
fans.
very good.
Okay.
Big fans of Dilla.
I've honestly listened to it like 5-6
Radio
times.
1 remix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no.
Radio 1 Essential Mix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disclosure.
Okay,
I'll give it's on. I have it. I'll give
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what you're saying.
Yeah. So, with Disclosure, the thing that I appreciated most about their set was that they could have easily just had, a playlist queued up and been like, play, and let's do fist pumps over here while you guys like this mix. But no, they actually have, like, a drum set out.
Yep.
They
Bass.
have a bass guitar. They're playing the keys.
Yep.
They're using the sampler.
Yeah, and
to-
they do these back to back, like, and then they do a DJ set back to back to those instruments as well.
Right.
Like they mentioned that on their Radio 1 Essential Mix that they're not just a DJ or a live DJ set.
Right.
They actually do live performances with instruments, with drums, bass.
Singing too.
Yeah.
Like, they sing the songs too. And I think her name's Aluna George, was it?
Sure.
Excuse me if I got that wrong, but she's featured on one of their songs, and she actually came out as a special guest to sing one of the songs. And then she was featured the next day actually as a solo artist, which I found pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, I mean, Disclosure was great. I really enjoyed myself with that. Other than the annoying chicks in front of me, I got over it eventually. But yeah, they were really good. Really good. So,
The Strokes.
was
That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for.
yeah, you got enough foreplay?
Yeah.
Are we ready to go
The
in?
show started.
Yeah, tell us about the
Tell us about the Strokes.
Okay, so I have to say between...
Give me the bread and butter.
Yeah. You get the meat and potatoes. Between the Strokes and Jack White, those were my two top performances of the entire weekend. The Strokes, they sounded awesome. Awesome. They played it loud, and they played it fast, and they had that charisma going that you don't normally see in a lot of bands. Like, Julian, it seemed like he was kind of wasted, which just added to it a little bit.
Because he always is.
Yeah, and...
Why is that surprising?
But the coolest thing I have to say was that, like, he would talk about other artists too as he was, like, in the middle of a set, and he was like mentioning Phoenix in the set too, saying, because I think Phoenix performed a little bit before they did, which I caught too, which was amazing.
No R. Kelly.
No R. Kelly. No R. Kelly on this one.
What?
They did that once.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Phoenix is a close third for top performance of the weekend. But, like, just the banter he had with the audience was incredible.
So, like, it looked like back in the day Strokes, like they were having fun again.
That's the thing that I noticed more than anything else, even, like, beyond listening to the songs. It seemed like they were legitimately smiling and having fun throughout the entire set.
I don't want to hear anymore. I'm so jealous now.
But I'm telling you, there's something to the fact that, and, like, I hate to say this because it sounds really elitist, but the fact that they were all performing in New York City seemed special.
Yeah.
You know, like especially the bands that are from New York, like Interpol.
Yeah.
And the Strokes in particular, like it seemed like they were really trying hard to, you know, knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Of course.
And they did, and it was great. And there's just this like
That's
candor between the audience and the artists.
Because that's their people. That's where they grew up, and
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
they formed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so just like that stuff is priceless. That stuff right there. And of course, you can look up their set list online, and it was just
Oh, believe me, I will.
you should. It's hit after hit after hit after hit, like spanning the entire Strokes discography.
That's
really.
awesome. So,
So.
you would say top 3 would be the Strokes,
Yeah, I would have to go Strokes, Jack White, Phoenix, if I had to pick
not
top
Interpol.
3. It was really close between Phoenix and Interpol, but just because Interpol's show was a little bit bigger, or no, Phoenix, I should say.
Yeah,
Phoenix's show was a little bit bigger. It was at a bigger stage too. The Interpol show was a little bit more intimate, and they hadn't really played in public in a really long time. So the fact that they were playing in their hometown, and you know, it was kind of a smaller stage, and like I felt like we could see each other in a weird way, which gives this weird connection to when they're performing.
He can see me. He can totally see me.
Exactly. Okay. Let me geek out on you guys real quick for the music geek in me.
Hey, guy with the beard, we'll play for you.
You're cool, man. But as Jack White was ending his set and going off stage, because we had the VIP tickets that let us go sort of on the side of the stage and get pretty close. So, you know, Jack White was closing out, saying goodbye to everybody. He walked away from the mic, was waving. I swear to you guys, he looked me straight in the face. He looked me straight in the face, and I started doing the "we're not worthy" bowing to him, and I just kept doing it, and I kept staring at him because I wanted him to see it. He locked eyes with me, and he goes, "Yeah,
You're not
Yeah.
worthy. You're right.
You're right. You're not. Good job.
no,
It's not worthy.
He smiled. He clapped his hands together, did the shake as he looked at me, and then walked off stage. I
Oh,
swear
man,
to you guys,
That's funny.
that happened.
I wonder how many other people are telling that story
I know.
right
I
now.
would love to believe that it's true, though. I like the image of that.
Well, they don't have a podcast, so
There you go.
Jack White, if you're listening,
we love you.
We're not worthy.
We're not worthy.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam,
thanks
for making us feel.
Yeah, our
just,
life is insignificant.
Yeah.
I wish you guys were there.
Shut up.
All right.
Well,
Shut up. You're pathetic.
now that you're back, and you've relayed the history of something we'll never be able to be a part of. Let's get on to more pressing issues, things that we can all talk about,
Yes, sir.
which is the E3 conference.
I've heard of that.
Oh, have you?
I have.
I think we all have. It looked. This was a big one because this was the first one with both next gen, current gen consoles out.
You guys always do that.
I know.
You guys always
It's easy.
do that.
It's more catchy to say next gen
Yeah.
console.
It's
than
a
it
hard
is
transition.
Current gen, because current gen sounds old already.
Right.
You know, but they are the current gen, and this was the first E3 showcasing some of the bigger
AAA titles.
yeah,
and-
more of them. Because the first one, you had a couple of them just to kind of show the power of each console and to kind of show off. Now you have all these publishers and developers who are going, okay, now that it's out, let us show you what we can do.
Let's flex our muscles a
Right.
little bit.
Right.
So there was a lot of stuff that caught our eye, and there was a lot of stuff that just kind of
Not
fell
so much.
flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, I want to
More-
start with that
more stuff that
because
fell flat on
we
its
we
face.
can just kind of run through that really quickly. I mean, there was just so many. I mean, you said there was over 200 trailers.
Yeah.
I mean, and there were so many of them that were just kind
it's
of
almost everything that's coming out for the DS. Trash.
yeah. The DS, it's just not looking good in my opinion.
No.
I mean,
Maybe in
There's
Japan.
a few games for the DS, like Smash Bros.
Smash Bros, yeah, for
the
sure.
DS.
Yeah.
I think that Kirby game was on there too.
The
Yeah.
Kirby game, yeah, that was cool. But for the Vita, I feel like the Vita's playing catch up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of indie games coming out for the Vita, but there's
Right.
not going to be another, AAA title.
No.
Not another Uncharted.
It's because nobody's willing to put that money into developing that type of game
Right.
for it anymore.
And I mean, like, how
Yeah.
well is the Vita selling?
Not well at all.
No, not well.
And that's why. I mean, why put all your eggs into that basket?
Well,
Or even any eggs into that basket?
this was a big test for the Vita for this E3, because if Sony came out and said, you know what, we're developing another Uncharted for it, we're gonna do I don't know, maybe another Resistance or something, or
Gravity Rush?
Gravity Rush.
Gravity
right?
Rush 2 is in development.
It is, yeah,
Was
but
that at E3?
it wasn't featured at E3.
Alright,
It's going to be probably at TGS, the Tokyo Game Show.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's a Japanese developer and stuff. That's where they usually unveil a lot of their stuff. But this was a big test for Sony as far as if they're going to develop for the Vita anymore, or if they're going to use it as another peripheral for the PS4 to use as like a backup controller and all that other type of stuff, which apparently, given what they've shown at E3, it's going to be used in that way.
Yeah. I didn't see
As a
a lot geared towards, exclusively geared towards the Vita.
Right.
I didn't see a lot of
Right.
stuff that said, we give a shit about, the gameplay or the original plan for it.
Right. So I think it's basically just going to be what it has been, which is just an indie box that you can take with you
Right.
on the go.
Right. Which is, I'm okay with
I'm
that.
perfectly happy with that.
I mean,
like,
those
that's
indie games
great.
are awesome.
Yeah. Especially when they're free.
Right.
With
and
PS
like,
Plus.
they're tiny games.
Yeah.
And they're good to take on, and they got a lot of replayability.
Mm-hmm.
I think PS4 or PlayStation was really the main star of E3.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple Xbox One titles, but I don't think they really outshined PS4.
Most of the
and
games were
multi-platforms.
multi-platforms, and
Right, but what I'm saying is like the exclusives for PS4 greatly outshine the exclusives for Xbox One, and
Right.
Yeah.
the in between the multi-platforms are already on PS4, so why wouldn't
Right.
you get the better exclusives?
I'd agree with that. The only thing I have to say is that Xbox came out swinging as far as having like the early releases of things and having unique DLC for stuff. They came out with that stuff way more this E3 than PlayStation did.
Well, that's because they're trying to play catch up
Yeah.
because of the mess they made last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They need that. They need that.
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's bad to see a company to see a company realize its mistakes and change those things. I saw people saying like, they said this and now they're going back to this. Why can't they just stick with one thing? And it's like, okay, first you complained. And then when they listen to your complaints, it's like, why don't you just stick to your guns? It's
There's
like
no
they're
winning.
listening to like
There's no winning.
There is a certain niche of audience they just will never let them win.
Right.
So I for one,
Those
if a
people-
company
those
listens
people
to
are
my
called
mistakes,
fanboys.
Yeah, don't feed the
Yeah.
fanboys.
If-
It's fine.
if a company listens to my complaints and changes things geared towards my complaints, I'm more than happy to support that company. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
I don't see why we should, down Xbox One for listening to the people who cared about it.
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, even if it's a blatant copy of what PlayStation's been doing,
if it's a good
why not?
idea,
Why not?
fucking do
I mean,
it.
Even you have Live, and you're like, all right, well now I got Dark Souls, and what was the other game?
I got a bunch of good games now that nobody's fucking playing the Xbox anymore. I got Dark Souls, Blood Dragon, Saints Row 3. They're just throwing Deadlight, Hitman. All those games were free.
Yeah,
right.
They just throwing them at me now because nobody's playing it anymore. So I'm like, I will gobble these up.
Catch up.
That's fine with me. I will have a solid game collection on there by the time it's over with.
Yeah, I feel like with this E3 in particular, they've stopped the bleeding.
Yeah.
They've kind of plugged that hole.
That's a good term. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not hemorrhaging anymore, so they've stopped that line of people that are already on the Xbox team as far as what they're playing and they're comfortable with, and maybe less of them are going to jump ship now to PS4 because they're a bit more comfortable with how things are going over
Or
there.
maybe their friend already got an X or a PS4, so
Yeah.
they have to get one.
So now they have to get one. So
Yeah, Marco. Anyway, I have to say, as far as the Xbox One goes, the most promising game from that is probably Sunset Overdrive for me personally.
Yes.
It's a really cool looking. I think it's a third-person shooter, right?
Not sure.
Anyway, it's a shooter for sure.
I don't doubt that it'll make its way to PC, so I'm not worried.
Probably, yeah. But it looks really cool. It's not taking itself super seriously, which is really rare nowadays, especially in shooter games.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate. It's really bright.
I think the last game that was like arcadey shooter was Bulletstorm,
Yeah.
which was cool,
But even that was a little bit kind of ham-fisted and dark in a way.
Yeah.
You know, it had that Gears of War look to it.
Yeah, you're right.
So this thing is like Jet Set Radio future and like, you know, a shooter within that.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for that game in particular, but I would say that's basically the only exclusive other than maybe Halo that's coming out eventually.
Don't care.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't,
You can
but
shut your mouth.
I'm a Halo fan, so
For some reason. I guess
But
you
you're
like
never gonna
boring
play
shooters,
it. But
whatever.
you're never gonna play it. How are you ever gonna play it?
I mean,
Are you gonna get an Xbox? Well, I mean, obviously
eventually.
you'll get one eventually,
Yeah.
but for now, you're not gonna get one now.
But I mean, that game's not going to come out for another year and a half or 2
You're
years.
gonna get an Xbox One in a year and a half.
I'd say within 2 years, I'll get an Xbox One.
That price isn't going to drop in 2 years.
It dropped enough already. It's matching the PlayStation price
Well,
now.
Yeah, but it's not going to drop any more than that
No.
in 2 years.
No.
It wasn't
It's
really
not matching the price. It just took the Connect off.
right. It wasn't
Yeah,
even
that's true.
It wasn't
That's
even a price drop, so it was just.
Well, technically,
It's
just. I mean, if you were paying for something that they added on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Does PlayStation come with something the equivalent to the Kinect?
That's a different SKU though, because you can buy it with or without the Xbox or without the Kinect.
You could buy a PlayStation 4 with
or
or
without
without
the
the
Xbox.
Xbox.
I think you're splitting hairs. Honestly.
No, because they're not dropping the price of the console.
Right. They're dropping the price of the package itself by taking away something that the PlayStation doesn't even have.
Yes, and the
so they're
package-
matching the price.
So the
I don't-
package,
it's
but
not.
it's not a price drop
No.
because overall, if let's say it still came with the Kinect, it'd be the same price.
Right.
It's not a price drop. It's
Right.
just a different bundle.
Which is called a SKU. That's
Splitting
what it
hairs.
is.
Splitting hairs.
All right.
All right, you're being way too retail for me, Adam. Way too retail.
Sorry.
I think another game that I'm kind of the trailers really piqued my interest. The interview trailer is Destiny,
Yes.
because I saw it and I said this is Borderlands plus Halo.
Yep.
And that's what I got from that. That it's Borderlands plus Halo.
Right.
It's got a little bit of MMO in there with the live action events.
Yes.
Where you have to team up with people on the fly to battle the boss.
Right.
That was cool.
I like that portion.
I'm interested in that. Yeah. But like the customization part, it's a very heavily online dependent game, which I don't really have a problem with.
Yeah, I mean, I think the coolest thing for me would be if you can, and it seemed possible from the trailer that they had on there, or that interview trailer, I should say, is that whatever character you level up with all the, all the armor that you can get, all the guns and the customizations within that, you can bring on to multiplayer.
Right, the competitive
multiplayer.
Right.
I like that.
Which sounds awesome. Like everybody has their unique, basically Master Chief,
Right.
that they can go in and
Right.
like super customize, and it has that RPG element that I think will make that game really sort of surpass the boringness that you guys say Halo has.
Right.
Okay, I didn't say that. I just don't play it that much. I don't think Halo's boring. I just don't play it.
I think it's boring. I think it's the most basic form of a shooter possible.
And
which is cool, but I could go play Counter-Strike for that shit.
I guess so.
Which is a lot more fun than Halo.
Well,
'Cause
yeah,
I don't have people criticizing me and ridiculing me for being a bad player. God damn it, I try, okay? I am trying. I don't play as much as you, so give me a break.
David, you suck.
I fucked your mom.
Noob.
No.
I am not a noob.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I think some people would take basic and change that to pure.
Sure.
As far as a buzzword.
Pure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever.
I'm invested in that story. I like the characters and I like the gameplay.
Yeah, sure.
Because, I mean, okay, with Counter-Strike, you die, like, immediately if you get shot. That's that thing.
No. You die immediately. Because you're bad at the game.
Oh.
You get it?
But I'm saying in Halo, you get shot a couple times and you have a chance of fighting back. Where in Counter-Strike, somebody busts in with a shotgun and you're
Well, then
dead.
it's not as pure as you're saying it is because you have a shield, Adam.
Well, no, because within that game,
All
it
right.
gives you a second
Hey,
chance.
We're talking about Destiny. So shut your pie hole
okay.
about Halo.
Yeah.
You little fanboy.
We're talking about E3, so let's get over Destiny.
There it is.
I think it looks good. It's definitely in my top. I'm excited about it, but I'm not,
I'm going to go with the top 5.
Okay.
Top 5.
Top 5?
Destiny's.
I don't have top 5. I got a top 3.
Good for you. Top 5 Destiny's in my top 5.
You have a 5?
Maybe.
If you don't come with 4 more, I'm going to punch you.
Metal Gear.
Nah, I forgot about Metal Gear. Maybe I do have a 5.
Shut up.
Fuck
Evolve.
you.
Borderlands, the pre-sequel,
I
which we did not see a
I
trailer
don't
for.
give a shit about that.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Destiny.
Was that any specific order?
No.
Sounds like all AAA titles, you bitch.
No.
Oh, we're giggly.
No, there were a couple other games that I don't have a top 5. I just have games that interest me.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's fine with me because Destiny's definitely on my list.
Right,
Yeah,
for
all
sure.
those games. All those games.
Evolve is on my list.
Except for the
yeah.
Borderlands prequel. Yeah.
I mean, you don't care about Borderlands.
Yeah,
You haven't played
I'm
Borderlands.
lukewarm
Yeah,
on
you,
it.
you haven't jumped into that world yet. So.
You haven't yet. It's good.
I played a little bit of it. It looked fun.
It takes more than just like a 15-minute session. I've
You're,
realized.
okay. Well then, I'll,
Yeah, because
I'll
I
give
tried
it another
showing
shot.
this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, it's cool. It's the same thing as you."
Yeah.
And now he plays it
Yeah.
because he got it.
Okay. Well, I got yours, so remember you let me borrow it.
You got my Borderlands?
Yeah.
You got my motherfucking Borderlands?
You let me borrow it.
You gonna die!
Well, guess who's not playing it? You.
Yeah, you're right.
Whatever. Keep
I'm
it.
not really okay. I'll get to it eventually. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would say
Definitely, maybe.
I would say Evolve, Metal Gear. Excuse me.
Dude, talk about Yoshi's Woolly World.
I was just about to bring that up. That is definitely on my list. The trailer started, and it looked like a fun, adorable game for kids.
It looked like a stupid game for kids,
Yeah.
and we were shitting on it, and then
Right.
all of a sudden
it
got
got like more and more. You started seeing the techniques that you need to use and the way that the tact that you need to use in the game to accomplish your goals in the game. And it was like, this is taking a little bit more thought.
and there's a lot more
than-
depth to that art style than
Yeah.
we thought,
Right.
and it's a really
It's not just a cute art style. It's
a-
very
it's a cute
in-game,
gamey.
Yeah.
It's there for platformer, old school gamers
Yeah.
who played Yoshi's Island, the first
Yeah.
one, who were around for that. And yeah, I mean, if I had a Wii U, if I do get a Wii U, I'd be excited for that.
Yeah. Earlier, you guys were talking about, after, not on the podcast, but there were a couple of games that piqued your interest about the Wii U, and I was like, nah, fuck off. But after watching some of E3 and seeing some of the games that are part of E3, or I'm sorry, not part of E3, part of the Wii U that's coming out for the Wii U, I mean, I'm not gonna get that before I get my PlayStation 4,
Yeah.
but I could definitely see myself buying a Wii U after like what they rolled out. So
And that's coming from a Sega kid.
yeah,
Mind you.
that's big. So I would say, as far as the conference itself, I mean, I already knew that the two big consoles were going to roll out with good games and have a big show. But Nintendo really surprised me. So if I had to pick a winner, I would say Nintendo. Because of just the come from behind sneak attack of like...
You think so? What else did they have?
I mean, Super Smash Brothers has already been out, but introducing the characters, and that Yoshi game, and just like all the other games that like they're introducing for the 3DS, but that's already on the Wii U. I just feel like the quality of their games was surprising to me. I thought
the
they were
Zelda game, too.
The Zelda game, yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot about that.
Zelda.
That looks, I mean, it looked gorgeous. I mean, I blew it off when you showed it to me, but when I actually watched it,
And we're
it's
talking
gorgeous.
the open world Zelda game, not the Dynasty
Oh yeah,
Warriors.
and if that trailer was in-game engine, then that's
Oh, it's
amazing.
gorgeous.
Yes.
Because that
Gorgeous.
chase scene with the
Monster thing.
the powerful creature, as he put it,
right, right.
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty unique stuff. GTA 5 is coming out on the new
GTA
next gen
5.
or current gen consoles and PC.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I said it too.
Yeah, so that's a big
cool.
deal. I mean, we knew it was coming eventually, but...
Yeah, but you've seen the difference between Titanfall on PC and Titanfall on the 360. So
Yeah.
imagine 360 going to
And you know
current
what?
gen.
When you say that, that makes me think like, you're right. Because when you showed me the trailer, or when you posted the trailer, I was like, looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
but now that when I think about that, like, there is a substantial difference, even though Titanfall is still enjoyable on,
Right.
on like a last gen console, like on a PC, it was a work of art.
Right.
So yeah, GTA 5 on the next or the current gen and a PC, it's gonna be cinematic, man.
Oh yeah, the biggest things I see with that are the difference between last gen and current gen is really in the very fine details.
Yeah,
of things.
course.
It's all the little, tiny, minute things within the physics engine that just make it sell better as far as making it that little smidge more realistic.
Yeah.
And the textures and all that type of little stuff. It's nothing that looks like it's, far and beyond like the PlayStation 2 versus the PS3 era.
Right.
But it's that little stuff.
When we were playing Hardline, which is another game that's coming out, which is awesome.
True.
When we were playing the beta, the one thing I noticed, only because I have a PC now, it was the anti-aliasing. How lines that were supposed to be straight were jagged.
The jaggies.
Right. And that's because that processing power isn't there, and it's also probably because it was a beta. But
Oh, yeah, I'm
but
sure.
keeping in mind that looked like it was a beta for a last gen console. Yeah, that's a huge difference. So, I mean, if you play Titanfall now, you'll notice that the anti-aliasing is a lot smoother. When I say anti-aliasing, pretty much when you play a game, everything is made out of pixels. So a straight line that's supposed to be diagonal isn't actually a straight line. If you zoom into it, it's a bunch of squares stacked on top of each other diagonally.
Right.
You're a bunch of squares.
Right. What anti-aliasing does is it tries to figure out where those squares are and what it's supposed to look like in real life. So it takes a lot of processing power, a lot of graphical processing power to take every single line in a game that you're looking at and smooth those jagged edges out.
Right.
So because of that, because PS4 has that graphic processing power, Xbox One does, and PC does, games that were on last gen look a lot better now simply because of those tiny little details that, like a circle in last gen won't look like a circle in current gen or on a PC because it doesn't have that kind of processing power. They can't make a perfect circle in anything yet because it doesn't exist. Everything is
made of squares.
Everything is made of squares. So it doesn't exist yet, but they're getting closer and closer to it with anti-aliasing, which wasn't on last gen consoles, which was the huge difference.
I mean, even look at a game like The Division that's coming out as well.
Yeah, I'll play that.
The big thing that really wowed people on last year's E3 when they showed that game way back then was you could shoot through windows and didn't do the copy and paste of the bullet hole that we've seen since N64. It actually goes through the window and it breaks it realistically.
Right.
know?
And physics engines are a huge part of PC gaming too, because NVIDIA specifically takes their physics engines, takes games, plugs their own stuff into it, and makes that game much more realistic because of it. Like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. If I threw that on now, you played it on PS4, which didn't have physics.
Right.
When you shoot your musket pistol, the smoke effect that comes out of it is a lot more realistic on PC than it is on PS4 because of physics, the physics engine on the computer. So that smoke that comes out after you shoot reacts to whatever it is in its environment. So if you walk through it on PS4, it doesn't react. But if you walk through it on a PC, that smoke will turn into itself as
billows in.
Yeah, it'll billow into itself as you walk through it, because that's the air flow or the air current that you're creating as you walk through it.
And I'm sure that goes into the water as well, and all that type of stuff, all the little things. And I mean, mind you, a lot of people that are listening to this that aren't big in gaming will probably hear that and go, "That's not worth the money." Like that little stuff is not worth throwing down another $400 on the system.
You say that.
No, that's a realistic opinion, though. You can't.
You say it, but I mean, if you're okay, I understand that. If you're not a huge gamer like I am, then you won't want to spend that much money.
You will spend that much money, but you'll need more of a selling point than
the smoke looks cool.
Right. The smoke look more real. You need more of a selling point than
that. It's the immersion you get from it. All of that. It all plays into itself, where you have the gameplay, the story, the graphics, the physics. Everything creates a realistic world that you can believe exists.
Right.
And that's why I spend that money on my computer. Easy. Money on my computer so it can make that world.
Right. It aids in the fantasy of making that gaming world that we all try to, get into, whether it's in gaming or whether it's in movies or whatever it is that we're getting into. It helps realize that fantasy. And I think that's, you know, that's worth it to us at least. And I
Right.
think it's worth it to people once they see the difference.
Right. I mean, you guys say that, but people, you say it's not worth that extra money, but people are going to the movies now paying $13 for a ticket where it used to be like $8 for a ticket because that technology has advanced and there needs to be something to pay for it.
Oh, the same thing with IMAX and 3D. You know,
Exactly,
it's an upcharge for that better technology.
Yeah, and there are people out there who pay that kind of money for that. So there are people who will pay for that slight increase in quality to enjoy something more.
And then VR is coming around the corner too, so let's not forget about that.
Yeah, let's not open up that bag of tricks.
Nope.
So to kind of cap it, as far as E3, as far as what you've seen so far, what would you pick as the most exciting thing or the winner of E3? It can be a game or which console you thought brought it the best. Anything.
Let's go for a console and a game. I would say that's fair for everybody to go through.
Good idea.
Okay. So for me, I'm personally most excited as far as games for the new Metal Gear. Just because having played the prequel sort of to it on PlayStation 4 has got me really excited for that new Fox engine and to see what they can do in an open world, fully open world, way bigger than that small like Guantanamo Bay type prison camp. That on, you know, an expanded scale with all these physics. You know, on top of that, I've heard reports that you can apparently like airlift things to your base that you're building, just like you could on the PSP game.
Nice, yeah. I still have to play Peace Walker.
Peace Walker is a great game. It's super fun, and that's what gets me even more excited about this newest one, because it's like Peace Walker, but on current gen, which just excites me. The thought of it excites me completely.
And your console?
Yeah.
No, I mean, and your console. Which one you thought?
Oh, okay. So for console, I would say it was a toss-up between the Wii U and the Xbox, because I feel like the Xbox had a lot of exclusives that I could really see being exciting as far as DLC and, you know, coming out first. That type of exclusivity. But I have to give it to Wii U just because it was such an underdog. I want to see them succeed.
Yeah.
And I have a special place in my heart for Nintendo.
Did you guys hear about the same, I think it was director or artist that made Ninja Gaiden, making a new game on the Wii U, exclusive to the Wii U?
I didn't hear about
Just
that.
another
Off
reason
of Team
why.
Ninja?
Nice.
Okay, we'll cover that later. But
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do more research on that.
I need more. I can't remember the name of the game or the name of the guy. Or,
Yeah, we'll pick that up later.
yeah, we'll pick that up later.
So, console and game.
All right, my game is gonna be Batman Arkham Knight because it looks like they scaled that game up times 10. Just the trailer that he jumped off that building and you can see the entire city.
Oh, yeah.
You can fly through it. The verticality of it, and the height of that building that he jumped off of, and the fluidity of just coming out of a cinematic straight into the game. It looked amazing. Not to mention the Batmobile assault mode, and just the technology that they took into consideration that Batman would have. You can see the projected courses of missiles coming at him before they come at him. You can see which ones are going to hit the Batmobile before they actually hit the Batmobile. They give you that advantage that Batman would have in real life if he existed. You know? As far as consoles go, I'm going to go off the wall and say PS Vita because all of those indies I love. I love those indies, and I travel a lot now. So to have those in my pocket, in my backpack,
Right.
it's invaluable to me.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
good point. I like that.
You know, I have to say, having traveled recently, having my Vita with me is a godsend.
Right, exactly.
You know, like it's the greatest thing to play on a plane.
How quick was that plane ride?
Super quick.
Yep.
And like I felt like I got things done because I was playing a game and getting through it. You know, like just playing Pixel Junk Shooter the entire time. I was like, this is great. Like I wanted to stay on that plane a little bit longer.
Should have brought your Vita.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I would choose first. Unsurprisingly, my game would be Evolve. I've been excited about it forever. And I cannot wait to get my hands on that game. It looks so awesome to me. 4-player, three on one team, And then
No,
it's
4-on-1.
right. It's 4-on-1. I'm sorry.
It's 4-on-1 or 1-on-4.
Yeah. This guy watched the trailer.
Yep.
It looks amazing. And not just because it's a giant monster fighting, 4 guys. It looks amazing just because, I think it's an innovative, different way of going about a video game.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
It takes the Left 4 Dead series and really turns it on its head and makes
Right.
it something even more
I don't think
unique.
it turns it on its head. It takes out the zombies and puts a super powerful player in its place.
Right.
And then on top of that, did you guys watch the IGN gameplay?
I haven't, but I've seen them play
It's
it
not just the
earlier.
monster that's out to kill you.
Yeah,
the
it's
environment
it's the whole
kills you.
environment.
A lot of those, they were doing the gameplay, at one point, half the team died because they accidentally walked into
Yep.
plants that ate them.
Yeah. It's incredible. They're gonna make everything important to the you're in a hostile environment trying to hunt this monster. Each person has a tactical advantage. You need to use the entire team, unlike Left 4 Dead where everybody just got a gun
Yeah.
and you killed.
Yeah.
Like this game you actually need to, because the focus of Left 4 Dead was always stick with your team. That's how you survive. If you get a straggler's going to get murked
Right.
fast.
Oh, yeah.
Stick with your team and you'll win. That's how you do it. But this game now, as far as I'm seeing, it looks like it's finally going to take advantage of that idea fully.
Right.
Stick with your team because you've got a medic, you've got the trapper, you've got the grunt, you've got the team. This is how you're going to win this battle. So
It adds even more strategy to that situation.
Definitely.
And now it's not well, I think what really changes it from Left 4 Dead is that if you do wander off, you have a chance to survive,
Right.
but you need to pay attention to your surroundings.
Right.
There's nothing coming after you aside from that monster, but you could easily walk into a trap or walk into a plant that's
Right.
going to kill you.
Or you can be, a decoy for your team.
Yeah.
And go out and, set a
many
trap.
many theories and many tactical advantages and many ways of going about playing that game.
Honorable mention, Alien Isolation, which just keeps
Oh,
looking better
yes.
and
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
game. Was that at
that is a
E3?
good-
It was at E3.
Alien Isolation nails the ambience of being in that universe.
Finally.
The original Alien
Finally.
movie. Yeah.
Finally.
And they apparently put it in VR too.
Fuck.
So,
That's scary.
yeah.
And then my console would be the Nintendo Wii. Also, I think I said it
U,
earlier.
Wii U.
The Wii U, yes, the Wii U. I said it earlier, but just to reiterate, Comeback Kid story. Hopefully, because I like seeing all 3 consoles. I don't like seeing the 2 console war
Right.
and then Nintendo Wii trying to catch
The
up.
thing with Nintendo is that third-party developers need to start taking it seriously. They
Well,
keep
I mean,
throwing Nintendo on the back burner
Because
for
Wii
everything.
U, Nintendo keeps I think Nintendo puts itself in that situation.
It does,
Nintendo says
absolutely.
this is for the family, and don't develop really hardcore games because we're trying to reach a niche
Right.
audience. And it's no, don't do that. Open it up to everyone and let them have fun
Right.
with what you're doing.
Make your family games, but then let people make the
Yeah.
super
Right.
violent manhunt games
They
they want.
they shot themselves in the foot by not keeping up with the tech.
Yeah,
Basically.
Yeah. that was
last gen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now they've got to pick it up in other ways, more innovative ways, more nostalgic ways.
Well, that's the thing for me is that I want a Wii U because I have such great memories playing Mario Party and playing Mario
that's
Kart.
the thing. I don't want a Wii U because of that. I don't want.
You don't want it to
The
focus on
nostalgia is cool and everything, but I need more than that.
Right.
I need more than just nostalgia. I need new ideas. I need new games. I need new IPs. Something.
I hear you, but at the same time, we have an Xbox One and a PS4 for that.
That's cool, but they don't have that tablet that Wii U does. There's so much potential that Wii U can tap into, but they're not because they have no balls.
no balls.
No balls.
No balls.
All right. Well, I think that's a good spot to kind of cut this one off. Before we let you go, I just wanted to give a shout out to the guy who does the theme music for this podcast, Ian Jacobson's band,
Hi, Ian.
We
the
love
Modern
you.
Novas. They had a show up in Cincinnati. Reportedly, it went very well.
Mad pussy.
So we're really happy for you guys, and thank you for giving us the permission to use your song for the theme song because I think it perfectly captures this podcast. And that's about it. This was the One Baron Podcast. My name is Marco Dupa.
I'm Obesius.
Drunk Dave, I'm gonna holla at you.
All right, check us out at onebeerin.wordpress.com on the YouTubes, Facebooks, Twitters, and all that. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good night.